Welcome, traveler, to a world on the edge of reason and revelry, order and ecstasy. Today, we journey not just through a myth, but into the wild heart of the god who defined freedom, joy, and mystery, Dionysus, the god of wine, fertility, theater, and madness. For centuries, his name has been whispered by those seeking liberation, and feared by those clinging to control. Some saw him as a divine savior, others as a god of wildness and chaos. But, like the wine he is so closely bound to, Dionysus is many things at once, an intoxicating paradox. But let us begin at the beginning, where life meets death, where innocence meets danger. Dionysus, the twice-born god, came into the world not once, but twice, each time defying fate. Dionysus' mother was a mortal princess named Semele, who lived in the city of Thebes. Her beauty caught the eye of Zeus, king of the gods. Enamored, Zeus disguised himself and wooed her, and soon she bore his child. But Hera, Zeus's wife, was a jealous goddess, and she despised this reminder of her husband's infidelities. Hera, clever and unyielding, disguised herself as an old crone and visited Semele, sowing seeds of doubt. "Is your lover truly Zeus?" she questioned. "Or merely a deceiver? Demand he show himself in his true form, if he really is the king of the gods." Semele, intoxicated by her love and pride, did as the crone advised. Zeus tried to dissuade her, but she insisted, and, bound by an oath, he revealed himself in all his divine glory. The moment she beheld his true form, a terrible blaze erupted. No mortal could withstand the raw, unfiltered power of a god. In the chaos, Zeus acted swiftly. He reached into the flames and saved the child growing within her. Dionysus. Taking the unborn infant, Zeus sewed him into his own thigh, bearing him himself until he was ready to be born. Thus, Dionysus was born twice, once from his mother, and once from his father, earning him the title of twice-born. Dionysus grew among the nymphs and satyrs, away from Olympus and its rigid ways. The wilderness became his cradle, his friends creatures of the land who taught him the secrets of vines and flowers, of fermentation and fruit. Through his veins flowed not just the blood of a god, but the wild essence of the earth itself. Dionysus learned to transform the simple grape into wine, a gift that would forever change humanity. But wine, like Dionysus himself, was double-edged. It could bring joy and freedom, but also madness and ruin. Wherever he went, Dionysus brought liberation. To drink his wine was to release one's inhibitions, to let go of worries and societal bonds. It was freedom in a cup. But freedom has always been dangerous, even feared. Those who resisted him learned that Dionysus was not only a god of joy. In his darker aspect, he was a god of ecstasy, yes, but also of madness. The gift of wine could reveal truths, but could also drive one to the edge of madness. Dionysus' followers, known as the Maenads, danced in wild frenzies, abandoning their inhibitions. They were filled with a divine madness that could give them strength beyond mortal bounds. In their ecstasy, they would tear apart animals and even people, consumed by a primal energy that was both terrifying and beautiful. Dionysus was a god who lived outside the bounds of Olympian society. To some, he was a liberator, a god of joy and fertility. To others, he was a threat to order, a force of chaos. Even Hera, his stepmother, continued to loathe him and often tried to have him killed. But Dionysus would not be so easily cast aside. His followers grew. Some embraced his freedom, others his madness, all surrendering themselves to something greater, something they could neither control nor entirely understand. One legend tells of pirates who captured Dionysus, mistaking him for a wealthy traveler. They planned to ransom him, but as the ship sailed, Dionysus revealed himself. Vines grew from the wood of the ship, thick and strong, and the smell of wine filled the air. The pirates, struck with terror, leaped overboard, transforming into dolphins as they hit the water, forever bound to the sea, free but never truly escaping the god they had tried to capture. But perhaps the most profound tale of Dionysus is not one of revelry, but of love. When he was strong enough, Dionysus descended into the underworld. His mission? To bring his mother, Semele, back to the land of the living. No god had ever dared to retrieve a soul from Hades, yet Dionysus braved the journey, facing down the Lord of the Dead himself. Hades, perhaps moved by Dionysus' loyalty or by the wisdom of this god who knew both life and death, granted his request. Dionysus led his mother from the shadows, restoring her life and taking her to Olympus, where she was made immortal. Dionysus, the god who defied boundaries, had broken yet another. He had bridged life and death, family and divinity. From then on, he was not merely a god of wine or madness. He was a symbol of resurrection, of life renewed, a god who understood joy and suffering alike. And so, Dionysus remains, a god for all who seek freedom and expression. He is joy and sorrow, ecstasy and reason, life and death. To worship him is to dance on the edge of control, to drink deeply from the cup of life, with all its beauty and chaos. For those brave enough to seek him, Dionysus is always near, waiting to reveal the mystery of his wine, the depth of his ecstasy, and the wild, unfathomable beauty of life itself.